Hey everybody. On today's episode, I'm going to be doing a dish known as keema naan, or bread stuffed with meat. Now this one goes out to all my friends in India. I hope you're safe. I hope you're doing well. It's tough, but we're thinking of you. Now, usually these dishes were made in what's known as a tandoor, or a cylindrical clay oven. Now, this was brought in from Central Asia into India through the northern states in the Himalayas when the Muslims went around and they were expanding their empire. Now, it became adopted into their culture, and basically, it's a smart idea of cooking. You just dig a hole in the ground, you put your clay pot in there, you heat it from the inside, and the radiant heat cooks everything in minutes. Very practical solution. It's a good way of doing it. But a friend of mine said, well, how do I do that at home? Well, I'm going to replicate the same technique with the pizza stone. Works equally well, and you get a pretty close approximation of what it's like. You're not going to get the same heats, but you'll get pretty close flavors. Anyways, let's check it out. Keema naan. Now, naan is a fermented bread, which means we're going to need yeast. You can either use a teaspoon of dried or 70 grams of a sourdough starter like I have here. Sourdough gives it a little extra tang, a little extra flavor. It's well worth trying if you have it. If you don't worry. We're also going to need some meat, 350 grams worth. You can use goat, you can use lamb, you can use beef. Just make sure it's finely ground. Or if you go to a butcher, ask for double ground. Keep it fine. For the bread, we're also going to need some yogurt. This adds an extra tang. We're going to use about 120 mils worth. And we're going to need to spice our meat up. This is my masala for keema naan. So we need cumin, coriander, cinnamon, black pepper, allspice, crushed chilies, and salt. Very simple mixture. Now later on, you can add some green chilies with your mince, along with some coriander and onions if you want to boost your heat up just a little bit more. Very simple, very straightforward. On to the mixing. So we take our mix that we've ground up, we add a teaspoon of it to our meat. So we dump that in, and this is going to be our basic flavoring, to which we're going to add a ginger garlic paste, which is a ratio of 3 parts ginger to 1 part garlic. We use about 2 teaspoons worth. You can also add our chopped up cilantro and onion at this point, even a few chilies. And then we squish it all together, incorporate all these flavors. And once that's done, we're going to form it into a ball, wrap it up, put it back in the fridge until we're ready to cook. And it should look a little like this. Now, we're going to get onto our bread. So, first step, get a bowl. I'm going to put in 270 grams worth of flour. This is all purpose, very simple to work with. Next, we're going to add a bit of salt for flavor. And our yogurt, 120 mils worth. Some water, 60 mils worth. A little touch of oil, about 10 mils. And our yeast. Now you can use the starter or 1 teaspoon of dried. You mix it, and it'll look like this. And we put it in a bowl with a little bit of oil, and you let it rest 3 to 6 hours. That'll allow for the fermentation to take place. Once that's done, we shape the dough. So we flour a surface, knead it into a ball, just like this. Then we're going to divide it into portions. I'm using 4 of them. So you chop it up into 4 pieces, roll them into balls, let it rest for a while, and then we're going to roll it out into a 5-inch round. Once that's done, we're going to cook the meat. So we get a frying pan, get it to smoking hot, have some oil in there, and we start browning our meat. Very simple procedure. Now, I'm going to add some raisins to our dish. It's considered a luxury ingredient in India, and it tastes nice. So once our meat is brown, take about almost a 1/4 cup's worth of raisins, a little less if you like, and we just sprinkle it in there, let them absorb some of the liquid. Once it's cooled down, we take a portion of it, put it on our round, and then we fold over the dough. And then we turn it into a ball. Once the package is sealed, give it a little tap to make sure all the excess air is out of there. And then we're going to roll it out again. Now remember, be gentle. You don't want to be too aggressive or else you'll make a big hole inside your naan. And now it's ready for the oven. So you put your oven into the highest setting possible, have a pizza stone in there, and you slap it on the surface. Now as an option, you can baste it with a little bit of yogurt. This gives it a little extra browning. After about 10 minutes, you're done. Serve it with a nice salad. You get a tender, meat-filled bread. It has a special tang, a special flavor, a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of crispiness. It's a really worthwhile dish to try out. Thanks a lot, India. Share, like, and subscribe. See you